Excuse me. Good morning, everyone. Today is Tuesday, April 6, 2021. The time is 10:02 a.m. This is a special meeting to continue our fiscal year 22 BOCC Department Budget Review. Attending Commissioners Duncan, Brooks, and Filios. Do we have any changes to the agenda? Hearing none. Okay, then. So our first item is review of the fiscal year 22 Historic Preservation Commission budget with Resource Management Director Jody Beasy. But Kim, you're going to handle this?
Yes.
Kim Riley will handle this.
Jody
Go right ahead,
had
Kim.
a conflict, so Kim Riley for the record. We're bringing before you the budget request for the Historic Preservation Commission, which also includes the North Idaho Museum request. There's no change, as you can see in your documents, there's no change to the regular operating budget for the commission. That includes some budget for printing, office supplies, miscellaneous supplies, rental expense, and community support. That has held firm at $1,900 for quite some time. The current North Idaho Museum budget is $20,000. They are requesting $30,000, and we have Britt Thurman here to discuss her request with you.
Go right ahead.
Good morning. So my name is Britt Thurman. I am the new director as of last November of the Museum of North Idaho.
I'm sorry, it's hard. Are you comfortable if you just take it off?
I can up here,
Okay.
yes.
Yes, thank you.
Of course. I can stand closer to the mic as well.
Yeah.
So Britt Thurman, the new director of the Museum of North Idaho. Glad to be back home and here in front of you all today. We are requesting $30,000 in financial assistance from the county. We appreciate the support that the county has given us in the past years. And as the museum continues to grow and achieve our goals for the future, we are looking for more financial assistance to be able to attain those goals. With new direction, and as I'm sure you all know, with a new museum coming at the base of Tubbs Hill, we are looking to expand our offerings to be more of a community hub, be able to expand our exhibits, expand our programming to school children, so we don't serve just fourth grade students, but we can serve all grade levels, be able to use history to teach different subjects such as science, literature, writing, and art. And we also are looking to be able to expand our staff. Right now we have 2 full-time staff, 2 part-time staff, and the workload is just more than what our staff can handle right now, even with our really amazing volunteers that we have. So we are looking to add a collections manager, curator to our staff to be able to continue the preservation and care of our historic artifacts. So to that end, we are asking for $30,000 in budget support this year.
Okay.
What are your other sources of income?
So we do have earned revenue through admissions, membership, gift shop sales, also event rentals, which we currently do not have since the tree fell on the Fort Sherman Chapel. That's dried up so far this year until we can finish those repairs. We also do sell books that we publish ourselves, and we have program through walking tours that we give each summer. We also get donations that come in, and we do have an endowment that provides financial support each year as well.
Okay. What does that equal, typically? Your
So-
outside revenue.
Yep, so all total, the revenue that we receive, including the $20,000 that we received from the county, is about $180,000 a year.
Okay. You said you're going to add a curator?
Yes,
Would that be a full-time position?
it would be a part-time position for right now.
Okay. Bill, any questions?
No, I have no questions.
Leslie? Does that is the additional 10,000, will that go for that position?
It would,
essentially?
yes.
Okay. And what is, I know what a curator does, but specifically with regard to M&I, what would that individual be doing?
Yes, so they would be ensuring all of our incoming artifact donations get properly cataloged and digitized and stored in a way that would preserve and conserve their care. They would also be in charge of exhibit content, some research, and ensuring that those artifacts that are on display are done so appropriately. So it would be part collections care and then also part exhibit design and maintenance.
Are you coordinating at all with the people who are interested in aviation history in North Idaho?
I haven't yet, but that definitely is one of my plans to do so. Looking to make a lot more partnerships for the museum going forward.
Okay. Any more questions for Britt?
No.
Okay. Any news from yesterday's?
Yeah, it's.
We're talking about the pending tax legislation in the House or Senate.
Yeah, so they're looking at allowing 90% of new growth.
90%.
Yeah, but they're having a hard 5% budget cap. So it's, yeah. I guess what the problem is, we have a lot of mandated services that we have to provide, and the legislature is looking at putting some restrictions on revenues for taxing districts in the state. And when that happens, that's less money we have for mandated services and for outside requests.
Okay.
So we just want to let you know that probably this year in particular is going to look a little bit thinner than normal.
Okay.
So just wanted to let you know that.
Thank you.
So we're not making any decisions today. We're basically gathering all the input, all the requests from our various departments. There are about 17 that report directly to the three of us, the BOCC. And so, but you'll certainly get serious consideration. But again, as Leslie has just said, a lot of it's going to come down to what are they allocating? You know, what is our taxing authority for this year? It looks like it's going to be less than it has been historically. So that's something that we have to take under consideration.
Okay.
For all our departments, in fact, for all departments within the county. But we'll certainly give it serious consideration.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You bet. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for inviting me here today.
You bet. You're welcome to stay if you wish. Okay, then. So moving on to the second item, review of fiscal year 22 juvenile probation budget request with Director Deb Nadeau. Thank you, ladies. That was easy.
Yeah, and feel free to, you can sit down too and use it if you want.
Whatever's easiest for you, Deb.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you for the time for us to present our budget this morning. I have with me Marie Holmes, who is my administrative assistant and our admin supervisor, and I have Brian Alexander, who is one of our juvenile probation officer supervisors. So I give you a
Welcome.
packet of information. The top sheet is the big picture overall summary of all of our budgets. As you know, because of the state revenue that we get specific for juvenile justice, I typically have 4 separate budgets that we work with through the year. So on the overall budget, no new personnel asks, no increase to my B budgets. I've overall decreased our travel and training by $652. I also was able, within keeping everything in balance, able to budget for a small increase for our chaplain and our mentor program coordinators. They haven't had an increase in a couple of years. They are independent contractors with the county, so I wanted to be able to give them a small increase this year as well.
Okay.
I have no non-capital requests, and I have 1 capital request for 3 fleet vehicles, which we had put out there as was going to be a need for FY22. We also, I know it's not really a budget increase request, but due to transparency, we want it done within the budget process. But we have carryover restricted funds in our tobacco tax account that more than cover what we need for these 3 vehicles. So really, we're just asking for the permission from the board to cover, you know, to use that carryover funds to buy these 3.
Fair enough.
Can you do it in this fiscal year, or do you have to wait till next fiscal year?
At the request of the commissioners last year, we were told to project it out and do it within the budget process. The money is there and available for whenever the commissioners give us the permission to do that. But I know because of transparency, we wanted it all done within the budget process, just to show how we were spending those funds.
Sure. And my only concern is with the way everything's going with construction prices, with metal prices, my understanding is it's going to be hitting vehicles soon. And so I see that you have the, I'm not sure if it's a state piggyback or not, but
How do you buy these,
that's,
Deb?
Parks and Waterways has
So,
shown
so,
that.
yes, I did, from Nick Snyder, I did get what his 2021 state bid is. You know, I guess we're assuming that they'd be similar for FY22, but he gave me what the state bid is for that
Okay,
particular
that's what I see
vehicle.
here, okay.
Yeah, so that's, at the end of the packet, all of that is to show the money that we want to spend for those three vehicles. We're replacing 2005, 2006 age vehicles.
Now, do you buy these off the lot, or would they have to be ordered?
They typically order them. The last time I purchased Ford Escapes, we went to the Ford dealer here in town, you know, through their fleet management guy, and ordered in because, you know, we kind of do stock models.
Okay, and that was pre-COVID, obviously.
Yes, that was
You-
2011, I think, was the last time we purchased new vehicles.
I would suggest, and if you can order them this fiscal year, do it. Because there's just a lot of backlog with just about everything. The whole, what's this term I'm looking for? Supply chain
Sure.
Yeah.
network is screwed up.
Sure. We're happy to do that, Commissioners. Again,
Yeah,
at
what
the
do you
direction
think?
of the board last year, we wanted it in the budget process, which is why we had projected out the need for the vehicles, and
That's fine, that's fine.
we've got the restricted carryover funds, and we can purchase them whenever we have the go-ahead.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, and I appreciate it, and that's the right thing to do. It's just COVID. That's all.
Okay.
I would support this absolutely, and your words about transparency are appreciated, but you're always very transparent as well.
I appreciate that, Commissioners. So then the rest of the packet is just going through a summary sheet for each of the separate four budgets. I did do a travel and training worksheet, even though it wasn't required. It does make it easier for me and my staff to know what we're budgeting for travel and training in that way, so I included those. I included the worksheets that we used, and Marie worked really hard to put together some Excel worksheets for me, because I really wanted to look at 17, 18, and 19 actuals as my three-year average, and then what was my 2020 actual, even though it was a COVID year, and we knew it was gonna be, you know, a little out of there, and then what I had adopted for 2021. So those are the sheets that I used to make my requests for my B budgets, for all four of those budgets. The last one, the Juvenile Corrections Act, there is no B budget with that. That is all just paid for personnel, and there's four of our positions that are paid through those Juvenile Corrections
just gonna
Act
ask you
funds. And the state requires us to expend all of those funds every year annually. Where with the tobacco tax and the lottery, we can have the carryover funds, which we have.
So if raises are given countywide, does that fund support that as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So whatever those decisions are for whatever positions are paid out of those particular funding streams. And as of right now, tobacco tax and lottery, we always have had carryover.
Okay.
So we're still in good shape as far as that goes right now.
Wow. Any questions? You always make it easy.
I appreciate that, Commissioners. I try, and I'm certainly, you know, trying to pass on this style of organization and, you know, my philosophy with the board of asking for what we need and expending what we need, and,
Right.
you know.
And you never fail us, Deb, and that's the truth.
I appreciate that, Commissioners. This is the budget year that we're working on that I will be retiring in, so I am again trying to pass on.
Oh, wow.
To my staff, you know, how we do this so that whoever, you know, is selected
So fiscal '22 is your last.
22 July,
Wow.
Commissioners, so.
So just a little over a year out. Wow. We're going to miss
I've
you.
got some fantastic staff who are ready to do
I,
this
I wish we
process
had
and-
some drama for you guys, but you'll have to attend some of the, come to the sheriffs.
You can grill
You'll
them, you can ask them questions if you want.
Anyway, thank you so much.
I appreciate
Thank you
your time,
both. Thank you.
Thank you, and
Marie
thanks
and
for doing a
Brian.
good job
Yeah,
for
absolutely,
the money
guys,
that's
really.
expended. I think you guys go above and beyond, and I really appreciate your department and what they do for the community. Getting those kids going in the right direction, I think, is beneficial to everyone. So,
Ditto.
thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Appreciate
your
it.
time, Commissioners.
Deb, how many years would that make?
Wow.
And how long were you with the Air Force? Oh, my goodness. Good for you.
Amazing.
And thank you for your service, Deb. Wow, okay. David? I made a joke yesterday. Nick came forward, Nick Snyder, with his budget, and he kind of made it look easy, and it was multicolored. And I told him that he needed a low-impact organization such as yours. I was being facetious, of course.
I don't, because I was coming from another meeting.
Would you like me to go run hard copies? Give me 5 minutes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because you guys don't have it electronically.
Did you send them electronically?
I assume so, but let me just go run you some.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Take 5 minutes.
That's fine. Okay, so the time is 10:25, we're resuming. It's Director David Callahan, fiscal year '22, budget summary for community development. Go, David.
Well, with your gracious help of giving us spots that were out of budget, and we'll talk about that again Thursday for two final things. We think we're whole, so there's no new budget or for staff in here, for new staff. I think in thinking ahead in '23, we may very well be asking for people, especially if things continue as they have this year, which is, I will just say, this year's nutty. It's hard, hard to get the mind around.
My question to that is if Thursday is not approved, can you wait until October 1? What would it mean if?
It'll be a tough swallow. People are drowning.
Okay.
It's just hard. All of the staff's up to here.
Sure.
But especially the building crew, because 45% increase from this time last year.
Right. So not waiting, do we think, well, I guess we can just address it on Thursday.
Yeah, they'll have more numbers for you from Dina
Okay.
and gang, so that helps.
Are
some.
you up to staff right now? All the open position, have you
Yes,
filled all
everything's
open?
filled.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, so your challenge is twofold. One, you have the builder community,
Right.
which is clamoring.
Right.
And two, to your prior point, if you've got people that are feeling overworked, that could lead to turnover.
Yes.
Although I don't know where they're going to go in this industry and not be overworked at this point, but that's beside.
It seems to be a nationwide phenomenon. And we seem to have it amplified here.
But I think you're right. I'm hearing accounts from all over the country. It might be worse here because we're one of the faster growing,
Right.
but it's happening everywhere.
And we have such a small supply of housing.
Uh-huh.
And other things you heard me say this morning in
Precisely.
Hillary and Bob.
Good job.
But the other way I'm thinking of this is, with the three consultants we have breaking the bottleneck of permits that we have, I'm taking a wait and see attitude. I'm hopeful, and I hope it's realistic hope, that the consultants will get the bottleneck out of the way before summer, and then the staff can actually handle things. Because as you know, we've promoted from within, we got people on board. I want to see how that works. And even if it doesn't work, we still got the consultants on hand to pick up the slack for a while, so we do a balancing act. Given that it's a balancing act and a wait and see, I didn't want to ask for a bunch of new staff in 2022 without really knowing where we are.
Right. Well, and we may see a slowdown, not on desire, but on the fact that we have 3 buildings right now coming before us that are way under budgeted because all of a sudden, almost overnight, it's now going to cost up to 50% more to build, up to 50% more to build these.
Is that construction
buildings.
cost?
Yes. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. So you may have, home builders who start to say,
Same
okay,
thing.
same thing.
You would think.
Yeah.
The other weirdness, just as a quick aside, is I have seen many booms and busts in my time, and on a national level, it always does
Right.
this. And in my experience, even on a local level, it does too. What's hard to predict here is we have this, because of COVID and other weirdness, we have this influx of very wealthy people from all over the country that are willing to spend outrageous sums of
Absolutely.
money
Right.
to move here.
Yep.
I can't get my mind around that. So we're still doing 34 or more single-family homes every month, just for that.
Yeah.
I keep thinking that's not sustainable, but I don't know.
Well, it's only sustainable if we keep current zoning. We're going to run out of things
We're going to
soon.
run out of land at some
We're
point.
going to run out of land at some, yeah, that's true. Well, and it's already spilling into neighboring counties. Shoshone,
Yeah.
Bonner,
Right.
even Benowa.
Is that right? I hadn't.
Oh,
heard.
yeah.
Okay.
Not as dramatic as it is here, but the prices have soared in Shoshone because still is more affordable. You know,
So even the national experts that I read in Forbes can't predict it. So that's why I want to take a wait and see.
Sure.
The other little things, that summary sheet just shows you we've got some what I
Yeah,
think
let's
are
do this.
insignificant costs on iPads and things. And we're still asking for 2 new vehicles because our fleet, 2 of our 12 vehicles are 19 years old with over 130,000 miles on them.
okay.
And we're
And
hoping
then-
the state bid works.
Okay, and so are you looking at escapes?
Yeah,
Okay, because juvenile probation, you
I
heard.
saw that, right.
Yeah, so that's something to get a hold of fleet management and see if you can, jump on that bandwagon.
Yeah,
'Cause that's,
okay.
Deb's looking to buy 3.
yeah, and if you're looking to
might
buy
wanna
So
do
we
two,
might get okay.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just follow suit and do the same thing.
Okay.
but not ahead of schedule because she's got restricted funds.
I get it.
But if you have restricted funds, I would love to know.
No,
about that.
we'll just try to plan accordingly.
Sure, and if they're all ordered and then delivered by October 1st, I mean,
And
that's,
that works.
yep, that works. So,
Okay.
So
Run through it for us.
in terms of,
Yeah, just give us, essentially a summary, bottom line.
Oh.
here's the summary.
Oh.
Yeah.
Second sheet. Okay, go ahead.
yeah,
So your fiscal 21 is just about one.
it's
Go ahead.
flat, really. We're asking for the bare minimum to make things work. And
Yeah, your
The,
B budget's up 5%. Okay, 5,700. Okay.
there's really nothing in here that
And the
the
two
least bit
vehicle.
out of the ordinary.
Total C budget. Okay, you're adding 20,000, and that is for
What are you looking at?
your C budget.
Oh,
On the summary sheet, second page, you're adding about $20,000?
Because they got one car last year, and now you're asking for
that-
two this year.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
And again, that's using the state bid.
Right.
Okay.
The Zoom thing, we just assume Zoom's going to be part of life for the ongoing future.
Well,
And
it seems like it's working out as far as the
It does.
hearings. So,
it does, actually. It actually makes things better because we have people
think so.
participate that wouldn't
Yep.
otherwise.
yeah, I agree. So,
Yeah.
So,
it's
and
not-
you're projecting a substantial increase in revenue.
We are. Again, that's just based on the trends we see. And I don't see it backing off. Yeah.
well, and if it does, you typically have normal attrition and. Anyway, so, yeah, I think we can get you ahead of the curve and so you can maintain then.
I will breathe easier in about 3 months. Once we get through the bottleneck of permits and we'll see
Right.
where we are then.
Yeah.
Okay. So for 2021, you were budgeted just shy of 2.2 million in terms of revenue, is that
Right,
correct?
yes, sir.
And you are currently at about 1.2
Which seems about right for where we are.
fiscal year to date, okay. And for 2022, you're anticipating just shy of 2.8.
Yeah, the math seems to work better for 22 than 21.
Yeah. Yeah, you're going up by about 600,000. Good.
So if the projections turn out to be correct, expense revenue, your general fund tax dollars aren't going to be, it's not going to be much.
That's the hope.
All the expenses. I mean, am I reading in the
Uh-huh,
right
that's the way I
section?
see it too.
Yeah.
So your expenses are going to be, as projected, excuse me, substantially below your revenue.
Actually,
not
that's a
substantial.
problem. If you're looking at the very last page,
I am.
it's general fund expense totals, expense grand totals. You only have
Fund 10.
174,000 in there. Okay, so that's right. So then that would be looking at 174,000 in general fund dollars. Is that how I'm reading that?
Right.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So that's the best we know to do at the moment.
This is a long overdue digging out, isn't it? Financially speaking.
Yes.
Thanks to a thorough analysis of your costs that you, with Dina's help.
Dina made it happen, and Mary slogged through it for a year. And then Mary's work was the prototype for Ben and John Mills.
Okay. Bill, any questions?
No questions, good job, as usual, made it nice and understandable. Thank you, David.
Thank you. Try to keep these things simple.
Leslie, you're okay?
Yep.
All right, thank you for your time.
Okay, David, thank you.
See you
Okay
next
then.
time.
You bet. Public comment. Hearing none, 10:37, meeting adjourned. Thank you.